Audible to all? Does I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Very good morning, all of you. Let's start today's topic. In the last section, we discussed about the operator and the types of operator. Among that, we covered the arithmetic operator. Now, today we'll discuss about the relational operator and logical operator. Make a note of that. While using the relational operator and Boolean operator, relational operator and logical operator, we will get the values like Boolean. Okay, for example, if you want to compare one thing with another thing, or if you want to test one condition at a time, then we will use a relational operator. If you want to test two or more condition, then we will use logical operator. Okay. Don't worry about that. We'll discuss in detail. So first of all, we'll discuss about the relational operator. So these are the symbols are available in the relational operator. Okay, so like in C language, C++ language, or any other language like a Java, we have a relational operator. No special operator available in relational operator. So the first symbol is a less than, afterward greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, and not equal. Okay, so it will test or it will check first attribute or first operand with second operand. So if you want to check the comparison less than, that means first number is a lesser than second number. If it is a true, then we will get the boolean value as a true. If it is a false, that means first value is a greater than second value, then we will get false in that case. Second one is a greater than, it will check the condition of greater than, it will check the content also. So if it is a true, then return true. If it is a false, then return the false. Okay. So make a note of that. While using the relational operator, we will get the output in the form of only true or false. Okay. So we did not get any other output while using the relational operator. So another one is a less than equal to, greater than equal to, and not equal to. These operator are called as the fifth and sixth number operator will be called as an equality operator. Okay, so the additional will name will be given to that equality. So let's start with that. So we'll do one by one, and after that we'll check for the some programs also. For example, if you want to find out the greatest number among two numbers, we will check how we'll do that. Once we did that, after that we'll check for the decision making step after a few days. Okay, so once we complete that decision making statement, we will use the relational operator, and by using that relational operator we can find some attributes. For example, if you want to find the whether the voter is a valid voter or not, if you want to find the prime number, if you want to find the greatest number among two numbers, three numbers, like that stuff we can do. So let's start with that. So here I will open the classifications. For example, I want to use, so here comment, and I will write example rational. Here I am using a comment section, so interpreter totally ignores that line. Okay. So first of all, I will save that program. That I will write. Program will be stored in a D drive, PP programs. Write the relation successfully store that name relation.py, and after that we'll declare the variables. For example, here I'm trying to use a 10 and the second variable will be at 20. So let's do one by one operation. After the operation we'll do forward, we'll do for the combine operation. Okay, also we'll accept the value from the user and we'll check whether the given condition is a true or false. So now I have given the two variables a and b, and in that I'm initializing value to the a as a 10 and 20 to the b. Okay, make a note of that. In the Python, there is a no need to use the data type. What is the reason? This type of question will be asked in the interview. So what is the reason behind that? So the Python is a dynamically typed language. So the time of execution interpreter automatically identify what type of data is. Okay, at the time of execution, so make a note of that. We did not use the data type. Secondly, we cannot able to use the semicolon also. So in that section, there is no need to use a semicolon. So there is the difference between this language and other language. In other language, data type is mandatory. After that, the termination is mandatory. Whether it is a printf, whether it is a C out, and whether it is system dot out dot println, like that stuff. Okay. So semicolon is a mandatory. So afterwards, I will print the information and I will check whether the first number is lesser than second. So I will check that. So A is a lesser than B. So we will get the output. So what kind of output we'll get? Either we get, if you know the value, then we can say that whether it is a true or false. So but if you don't know the value, what will be the value of A, what will be the value of B? So we get the output as a true, or we get the output depending on the condition we can identify. So but right now we can say that the given output is true. Why? Because the first number is always lesser than second number in that case. Okay. So the first number is lesser than. So now I will print the business logic only. Okay, here I am using the operator called as a less than symbol, and here I am using two operands A and B. It will be comparison for that, and we'll get the output whether it is a boolean or whether it is a, sorry, whether it is true or whether it is a false. Okay. Now the output will be printed, but I want to print text also. Okay, so for that I will use double quote open, double quote close, and separation by using comma. Make a note of that. Like a C language or any other language, we are using the same methodologies. So in that, if you want to pass the text, then that should be must contain inside the curly sorry, in the double quote open and double quote close, and the separation is a comma. Make a note of it. So here I'm using called as a lesser than b, and after that you can use colon, or we can use equals to symbol. Okay, so this is the basic thing. Okay, in that section I'm doing only less than operation. I'm trying to implement less than application where a is a lesser than b. Okay, so what kind of output we'll get? We will get either it is a true or either it is a false. Okay, so let's try to execute that program. So again I will use d colon. So after that we'll use pp programs. Trying to use Python, Py or Python you can write. So with that relational term. See, we get the value as a true. What does it mean? That means that the A is always lesser than B. Okay. A is always lesser than B. So we'll do one additional program with that. Okay, so in that section we'll accept the value from the user. Okay, so here I will make a copy. Here I will accept the value from the user. In that case I will type int now bracket input. We get the function relational in relational. I'm trying to get the input from bracket 75. Simultaneously I will give you the different will do forward he also, so I will make a copy and paste that. First I will use second. Information will be stored in a and. Now in that case we don't know about whether we get the output as a true or whether we get output as a false. Okay, so at the time of execution it will check whether it is a true or whether it is a false, but right now we cannot able to say that. Why? Because we don't know the value. Okay, let's do that. Let's check whether we get the true or false. So clear the screen, and after that I will use a Python and ask for the first value. So in that case, I will enter the first value is a 10 and second value is a 5. Can I say that 10 is a lesser than 5? So answer is false. We get the output as a worst. Is it okay right now? I'm able to. I'm audible to all. Nikita,
Yes, sir, but voice is breaking.
what about Sachin? Did you get my voice? Archana, Manisha,
Yes, sir.
did you have any issue of my voice?
No, sir.
Okay. Pooja, just rejoin the meeting. Okay, so maybe the network issue from your side.
Okay, sir.
So quickly rejoin. Ashpak,
Yes, sir.
did you get my voice clearly?
Sir.
Issue of network issue. Okay. Now is it okay? Pooja, unmute yourself. In that case, we did not say anything about which value is greater, but when we accept the value, in that case, we can say that. So 10 is a not lesser than 5, so we get the false output. See, we get the false output. That section just we mentioned we need to now save it and I will read execute. See, we get that 10 and 5. First 10 and second one is a 5, so we get that the first value is a not lesser than second. Now we'll discuss about the second concept called as less than equal. So there is no major difference between less than and less than equal to. Here is a symbol of less than equal to. Okay. So in that case, just make a note of that. If the first value is a lesser than second value, then we will get the true output. As well as if first value is equal to second value, then also we will get the output. Okay, true output. So let's take example so you will get clear the idea regarding the less than and less than equal to. So assume that here I have two variables called as a, the b, the value of, now I'm trying to utilize the concept of less than symbol. Okay. So in that case, the value of A always lesser than the value of B. Okay. So for example, assume that the max value of B is 100. The max value of B is 100. That means if you want this statement as a true, if you want this statement as a true, then the value of A must be less equal to, that means must be lesser than or equal to 99. Okay, so if B is 100, then A will be 99, 98, 97, 95 up to 0, or up to we can say that minus number also. That means the value of A is always lesser than 99. When we think about the 100, when we think about the 100 and we are using a less than symbol, then we will get false. We will get false. Why? Because we need to check the lesser number of second number. Okay. If second number is 100, then the first number is lesser than the second number. That means the maximum number of A would be 99. Maximum number of A would be 99. So this is about the relational operator. Okay, less than operator. Now when we talk about the less than equals to symbol, when we talk about the less than equals to symbol, in that case the value must be lesser than 100. The value must be lesser than 100, as well as if the value is equal to 100, then it will return true. Otherwise, if the first value is bigger than second value, then always it return the false. Okay, so there is a difference between less than symbol and less than equal to. Okay, in the less than equal to symbol, we get the additional benefit as the equality option. Okay, so in that case, we'll check first number equals to b number. If this condition also satisfied, then we can say that. Okay, if this condition is satisfied, then we can say that it is a less than and equal to. Let's take some example. If I have the first value is a 10 and if I have the second value is 20, then does we say that the first value is lesser than the second value? The answer is yes. We can say that the first value is lesser than second value. So in that case, I can say that true. Then second option, 11 is lesser than 11. Can I say that 11 is a lesser than 11? The answer is false. Why? Because when we use the lesser than option, just we need to understand the concept in that case. Just the first value is lesser than 11. That means the maximum value of first is 10. Okay, if it is a less than. Now when trying to implement same question by using less than equal to, in that case, when we use a less than equals to option and first and second values are the same, so in that case we get the true. We get the true. Make a note of this is the major difference between the less than and less than. We get the only additional benefit to the next statement. We will get the additional benefit. That means the first value, if the first value is equal to the second value, then we will get the output also as a same. So don't worry about that. Okay, so this is the difference between the less than and less than equal. Okay. So now similarly we have an option called as a greater than and greater than equal to. Called as a greater than and greater than equal to. In that case, okay, we get the same output if the first value is greater than second. Okay, so let's take the example so we'll get the idea. So here I'm using the greater than symbol. So instead of that less than, the value will be greater than. So if the first value is greater than second value, that means the value will be increased from 101 to the value will be start from 101 up to infinity. You can say that infinity. You can say that. Now we can say that the given statement is true if the first value is greater than second value. Okay, so if second value is 100, assume that. Okay, don't worry about that. If second value is 10, then the first value may be greater than equal to greater than 11. Okay, so the first value is 101 to infinite, p is 100, then and then we can say that the given statement is true. So similarly here we'll do for the greater than equal to symbol. So both are the same, just here the value will be started from the 100. When we use a greater than equal to symbol, the value will be started from the 100. Okay, so there is a major difference. Just one difference is there. When we use a greater than symbol, the value must be increased by 1 from second number, at least 1. Okay, up to infinite. So that's why here I write infinite. Okay, so value will be increased at least 1 by second number, then and then it is possible to get answer as a true. Otherwise we get the answer as a false. And in equal to, greater than equal to, if the value of first element and second element will be the same, then also it will be written. If the value is greater, then it always written. But if the value of a attribute, a variable and b variable is the same, then it will give the same output. Okay, so let's do the example so you'll get the idea. So first of all we'll perform basic operation. Now I'm trying to use A100 and B20. So here I'm using a greater than symbol, and here also I'm using the greater than symbol. So let's check out whether the first value is greater than second value. So for terminal, type pi relational dot pi. See, we get the output as a true. We get the output as a true. So just we do what? We'll use only 2020 by using greater than symbol. Okay, so if the first value is 20 and if the second value is 20, let's check what output we get. Let's check what output we get. Okay, so in that section we get the false output. Why? Because if the first value is not at least greater than 1 by second value, then we always get a false output. Okay, if the both values are same in greater than option only, then we get the output as false. So let's check out about that. So see, we get the false output. But whenever we're trying to use a greater than equal to symbol, whenever we're trying to use a greater than equal to symbol, in that case we get the true output because the first value is greater. Is it true? No. The first value is equal to second value. Yes, so that's why we get the as greater than equal to. That means the first value is always greater or equal to, then it will return the. Let's check out. See, we get the output as true. So earlier it get the output as a false, but now we can say that the output is true. So this is about what? This is about the fixed value. So if you don't know the value, let's do the output of that. So we are accepting the value over here. Here I'm using the greater than symbol, and now we'll check for the greater than only. Okay. So the relational input I'm using I relational ask for the value. So first value is a 10 and second value is 1. So thus we can say that the first value is greater than second value. Yes, we can say that. So I will revise it. I'm using a 20 and 20. Thus first value is greater than equal to second value. The answer is yes. We get the A here not here I'm executing relational input dot, so that means the program was not saved. And now we get the output as a true. First value is 20, second value is 20. See, we get the output as true. Because earlier I am using only greater than symbol, now I am using the greater than equal to symbol. So that's why we get the output as a true. So while performing the operation, we need to understand the basic concept regarding the relational operator. Just the relational operator is used to perform the relational operator is used to perform just condition. In that, it will check whether the given condition is a true or not. So this type of operator is very useful while doing the application because we need to test our condition. If the condition is satisfied, that means if we get that true, then the further code will be executed, otherwise the further code will be terminated. That means we need to just understand the condition. Let's check about that. So now just I have one query and I will open the ideally tool for that and I want to ask question. So just I'm using one value like that. Here I'm using that x is equals to 10 and y is equals to 20. In that case, sorry, y is equals to 20. In that case, I'm trying to use what? X and y values. Okay, so we will compare x and y. So does y is a lesser than x? We get the output. Does x is a lesser than y? We get the output. Now my question is, can I use directly value in the ideality? Yes, you can use. So like that 10 is a lesser than 20. So can I able to use? Yes, you can use. You can use. But another question, just I'm using a single relational operator. Can I use greater than one single operator inside one statement? एक ही statement में एक से ज़्यादा use कर सकता हूँ क्या? What happen? Like see, 10 is a lesser than 20 is a lesser than 30. So is it valid? What do you think that? Is it valid, and what will be the answer, or what will be the output? Does we get error? Does we get output? What do you think? Unmute yourself and try to say the answer. Try to give the answer. Pooja, are you there? Unmute yourself. Ashpak, Anisha.
Yes, sir.
What do you think that, Ashpak? Did we get the output or did we get the error? What do you think?
Sir, error.
Okay. Ankita, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think? What output we'll get?
Sir, output will be true because 10 is less than 20 and 20 is also less than 30. And it is possible to compare three values.
Okay. So earlier in the C language, in the C++, or in the Java language, is it possible such a type of statement? So in the other language, it is not possible, but in Python, we get the output. Okay. So make a note of that. You given a true answer, valid answer. Okay. So in that type, we get the true value. Okay. But the output, the way, or what we say, the meaning of that statement was wrong. Okay. So here we are trying, you said that we're trying to compare first thing with second thing with third thing. So you're trying to execute that statement like that. Okay. So what happened? Like I'm trying to execute such a statement. So now what do you think that? Ankita, what do you think?
Sir, it Python uses interpreter and it goes from left to right.
Yeah.
So first 10 will be greater than 30 will compare,
Okay.
and then 30 is less than 50 will compare.
So what will be the output? True or false?
It may be true, sir, because second statement is true.
So like this, so I will make one statement for that. Okay, make a note of that. If the one statement will be true, okay, if the statement will be true inside the what we say Python, then all statement will be true. If the one statement will be false in Python, relational operator, then all statement will be false. Okay, so in the starting here I'm using a 10 is greater than 30. That means what? It will be a false. So if first statement false, then rest of all statement will be false. If first statement will be true, the rest of all statement will be true. Okay, so see we get the false. So make a note of that. जो मैंने statement बताया ये याद रखना है आपको. And already given that statement uh, uh, inside that word PPT. Okay, so see, so here I'm trying to use A, B, C. A is lesser than B, B is lesser than C, and we are getting the output something. And if the A is lesser than B, B is lesser than C, but the value of A is 100, so we get the false output. See, here we get the true output, here we get the false output. That means all statement must be true, all condition must be true. Okay, if we get any condition as a false, then the whole output will be false. Make a note of that. Okay, so जैसे आपने आंसर बताया कि लाइक पाइथन के अंदर कंपैरिजन हो सकता है and like that for that example a is lesser than b, b is lesser than c, or we can say that 10, 20 is lesser than 30, then we get the true output. But we need to specify like that. Okay, so if we get the all output as a true, then or the all output as a true, then we get the true output. If we get only one false output, then the whole output of that statement will be false. Just make a note of that. Okay, so this is about what? This is about the relational operator. Now just we need to check the if we have a string. Now, if we have a boolean value, if we have that number, we check first number with second number. But what happen if we have the string? So for that, I want to use the ideally tool also. So for that, for example, here I'm trying to use x is equals to inside that I'm trying to store the string as a PESCUE. Now in y, I want to trying to store the string as a college. Now I want to check the comparison. I want to check whether the x is lesser than y, whether the x is equals to y, whether the x is greater than equals to y. What do you think that? Does it will perform the operation or does it will get the error? So why I give this information, because see, just I will taught what is the operation, relational operator, and how will perform, how will accept the value, and how will compare. That's not enough for the job oriented task. Okay, so if you want a job or if you want to work in a reputed company, we need to understand all things. Okay, so we earlier we did the operation on booleans, that means integer number. We can perform the operation on fractional numbers also. So but like this, can I able to compare the string in the relational operator? And if yes, then how the string will be compared? If no, then what is the issue? Let me know about that. What will be the answer of x is lesser than y? And what will be the reason for that? If you get the output. If didn't, then what is the reason for that? What do you think? Just speak whatever it may be, whether it is a true or whether it is false. I will explain each and everything. But at least you need to specify the answer. Yes, I think the statement was true. Yes, I think the statement was false. I don't know about that. At least speak as well. Okay, so each member needs to discuss about that. What do you think? Let's start from the first number. Who is the first number? What do you think? Because I shared my screen, so I don't know who is the first number. Shall I ask the question by using name? Ankita, what do you think?
The very last thing can be
Didn't get what you said.
sir, it is possible to affect.
Yes, you think that it is possible. Does we have reason any?
Sir, I am not sure about whether it compares the length or whether it compares the character.
Okay, Ankita, your network issue is there. So just try to type the what you said. So before that, I will ask the question to the other. Okay, Archana, what do you think?
I have no idea, sir.
You don't know. Just think about that. Does it allow? What do you think? Just imagine like x is equals to PSU, y is equals to college. Can you able to use a comparison between the string? That's possible to compare.
No.
Okay. You don't think who is the remaining? Sachin, what do you think? You said that false. First statement was a lesser than second statement. Does you have any output or a reason behind that? You said that it is a false. I say that the value will be true, or I can say that the value will be false. I don't know about that. I want a reason regarding that. So whatever it may be, we get the false, we get the true, but at least we need to understand that whether that first value is a lesser than second, but on which basis we can say that the remaining. Upendra, what do you think that? Yogeshwari,
यस सर ट्रू होगा
true होगा. What is the base
ट्रू
for that?
होगा शायद क्योंकि वो स्ट्रिंग है और स्ट्रिंग में ये ऐसे ये जो ये लेस देन इक्वल टू ये वाले ऑपरेटर्स यूज कर सकते हैं वो स्ट्रिंग को शायद वो जो इन्वर्टेड कॉमास में जो जैसा ये जीरो से काउंट करता है ना तो शायद उस तरीके से अगर काउंट किया तो PSCOE वो 5 है और ये नीचे वाला 6 है तो 5 लेस देन 6 शायद इसलिए ट्रू
Yeah, this is the valid reason. See, if you want to use a string, this is valid reason. but तुमने ये जो word किया है शायद, so that will be not valid. So be confirm on your answer. Okay, so but at least आपने try किया है. Okay, don't worry about that. So the answer is valid. We get the true value. Okay, what is that? Does we get true value? So just 1 minute. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay. So just what should I do? I will use 1 minute PESCUE, and I will give you the answer also. What is the reason for that? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So whenever we use a string, that string will be totally depend on the what ASCII values. Have you heard about the ASCII value? The capital A has something 65 value. The capital B something we get the 66 value. The capital C will get the 67. Okay, like that stuff. Small a contain the value of 97. Small v contains the value of 98. Small c will contain the 99. Okay, in that case, can I say that just I will close it and I will trying to implement the same problem by using a notepad. There is a problem maybe that. So just I'm trying to implement same thing. So here I'm doing the first variable called as a. Inside that I'm trying to use a PSCOE, and second I'm trying to use B. Inside that I'm using a college. Okay, so now if the string is equal, first of all, if the string length is equal, okay, then it will check for the first alphabet of string. Okay, अगर string equal है तो first alphabet of string check करेगा. C is a lesser or P is a lesser. So if P is has a more value than C, okay, so according to the ASCII table, P has some different value and C has something 65, 66, 67. So in that case, we get the false output. Let's check out about that. So here I am trying to use print in round bracket. A as a lesser than B. A is a lesser than B, and here I'm a colon, and after that separation by using comma. A is a lesser than B. Lesser than B. So okay. So ये program में कौन सा कर रहा हूँ? Just if we have same string, if we have same string str1.py, if we have a same string, okay, so in that case just I will trying to use that. I will execute that program. See, here I'm using str5, so we get the false value. Okay, why we get the false value? Because P is a greater as compared to the C. Okay, let's do one minute thing. So here I want, what should I do? I will use PSCOD. In that case, does we get the true output? No. Why? Because the value of A is the same as value of B. So let's do that. See, we get the false. But whenever we're trying to use equals to symbol, in that case, we get the true output. See, we get the true output. That means what? First of all, it will check for length. What will be the length of first variable? What will be the length of second variable? And if the length will be satisfied, if the both value have a same length, then it will check for the first alphabet. If first alphabet will be same, then it will check for the second alphabet. If the second alphabet will be same, it will check for the third alphabet, like that stuff. Okay, so make a note of that. If the value will be same or if the length will be same, then it will check one by one attribute. But what happen if the value is different? Right now I am using an ABC. So here the length of variable is a 3 and here the length of variable is 6. So can I say that is it valid? So the answer is invalid. We get the, sorry, the answer is valid. Why? Because 3 is a lesser than 6. 3 is a lesser than 6. Okay, so make a note of that while doing the operation. Make a note of that. We need to specify the answers, and the first will, it will check length of variable. First it will check for the length of variable, and later on it will check for ASCII values. If the string are the same, if first string will be equally same to the second string, in that case it will check for the ASCII value. Okay, so we all know that the capital will be start from the 65, the capital B will be used as a 66, small a will be used for the 97, like that stuff. You need to clear this ASCII table concept, so you will get the idea. So that means when we use the boolean value, so hope so you will get the idea. In that case, the first value is a string and second value is the string. First it will check for the length and later on it will be checked for the ASCII table. Okay. Now my another question is there. I have made the statement that what happen if we both consider as a string? We did that operation. What happen if we consider both statement as a bool? So make a note of that. If it is a true and false, if you pass the boolean value, in that case, if it is a true and if it is a false, we all know that the value of true is 1 and the value of false is a 0. So can I say that 1 is a lesser than 0? So no. So for that we get the output as a false. For that we get the output as a false. Okay, so if a is equals to false and b is equals to, if a is equals to false and b is equals to true, then what will be output? What will be the output? क्या होगा? If a is a false and b is equals to true, output क्या आएगा? True ही आएगा ना, because we all know that the value of true is 1 and the value of false is 0. So 0 is a lesser than 1. Yes, it is a true. So ये भी आप perform करना है. Yeah, just I will show you answer right coordinate. I'm using the false value and here I'm trying to use true value. So here I'm using the, yeah, less than equals to, or just try to use the lesser symbol. Just here we get the true value. We get the true value because we all know that. Why we get the true value? Because the first value is a lesser than second value, because first value is a lesser than second value in it. In that case, true value is 1 and false value is 0. Now my statement was a different statement. When we think about the equality operator, this statement is a major important content or option in the relational operator. Note, while using the, I'm not giving any example, just I want to make a statement. While using the equality operator, it will check the content, not the data type. What does it mean? So if you want to compare one first thing with second thing, the data type or data type is a not mandatory. That means I can change bool value with string value. I can change int value with a bool value. That does it make sense? That means while in Java, while using the comparison operator, equality operator, that means equal to or not equal to. In that case, when we compare, then it will compare data type also. Value तो convert करता है, compare करता है, content compare करता है, check करता है. So as well along with that equality, so that value, the data type also check in the other language. But in Python, it will be focused on only content, not the data type. I will give you the examples. So first of all, we'll do from ideally tool, and here's the ideally tool, and in that we will compare the values. Okay, so see, so here I'm using a 10 equal to 10. We all know that all data types are equal and the values are also equal, so for that we get the true. But if we're trying to compare 10 equals to 10.0, so does we get error or does we get the output? What do you think? Because the data type of first variable is int and the data type of second variable is float. So what do you think, that does we get any error? Yogeshwari, what do you think? Shivani, are you there? Shivani Shilde? Am I audible? I'm audible to all. So just text the message if you don't want to talk.
It is, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, it not get an error.
Okay, so what is the statement what I taught you? While using the equality operator, it will check for the content, or content instead of that, it will check for the value, not for the data type. So according to that concept, we did not get any error. Why we get the error? Because of question mark. Okay, so I did the question mark, so that's why we get the error. And what I taught is valid. We get the true value. Can I able to compare 10 with boolean value? With boolean value, what is the value of boolean? True. We all know that the value of true is 1. So does 10 is equals to 1? False. What about the statement? So for example, I am trying to use a 10 equal to something called as a PESC. What do you think that? What do you think that? So this is a string and this one is a data type. Is it valid? Yes, it is a valid. We get the false value. Why? Because 10 has some different value and this one is ASCII and it has some different value. So can you able to compare two string? Yes, you can use. You added it at PS as equals to double quote PS. If it is valid, we get the true. If it is invalid, we get the false. That means totally it will check for the content, not for the data type. And ये question this type of question will be asked in the interview, and this is the most important question in the relational operator, because it does not focuses on the data type. It will check for the content. It will check for the value only. Okay, so this is about what relational operator. So hope so you will get the idea regarding the relational operator. If you have any type of query, let me know about that. We'll discuss and we'll close the session. So these are the program I have given. So this is the less than, greater than symbol. So we get the output true, false, like that stuff. So here's PSUV, here we get the college, like that stuff. So just try to execute the program by using the, what do we say, notepad plus plus, so you get the idea. If the both values are true, what happen? Boolean type. So like if the value will be, what will be the output of following code? So here I taught the concept less than, greater than options. So make a note in that such a type of program when we use a greater than greater than one symbol in a single program. So make a note of that statement. So in that case, just I will write a statement over here. We'll get the idea regarding that. So if if all if we get true statement, then final statement will be statement, then final statement will be true. Another comment was, if we get false statement, okay, then the final statement will be false. So make a note of that statement. इसी statement पे वो follow होता है. So in that case, all statements are true. First statement was true, then obviously all statement will be true. Okay, so just it will check the comparison. If all statement will be true, then it will get those two. If all statement will be false, or at least one statement will be false, all statement all will be of false. Okay, so ये बहुत एक important statement. And the last one was um, this statement, equality operator. Inside that, here I will write the example equal to, So these are the equality operator. Yes, and these are the very useful. Okay, so it will check the content only, not the data types. So hope so you will get the idea regarding that and clear the all the concept regarding the relational operator. So if you have any query regarding that, let me know. We'll discuss. Otherwise, we'll close the session and I will upload the lecture as early as possible. Does anyone have query? Shall I close the lecture?